Anza.
We are the face of boxing.
Hello and welcome. This is Radull Live. Good to see you guys. And today I'm honored to be hosting two Olympians. Yes, I'll introduce them to you in just a bit. They did us proud in Tokyo simply because they qualified. What people don't realize is just getting to the Olympics is an achievement in itself. So together with Tusker, we want to celebrate everyone who represented Kenya at the Tokyo Olympics, because we are Team Kenya, Kenya Milele. Yes, and remember, excessive consumption of alcohol is harmful to your health, strictly not for sale to persons under the age of 18 years. Now, those of you expecting me to talk about Arsenal, that's not going to happen now. Yoni Badai, 3 p.m. on the game plan on Nation Radio. Yeah. For now, we're focusing on Kenya. Let me send a few shout outs, then I introduce my guests. Steve Maritim is tuned in from Maseno University. Min Blessing, logged from Abu Dhabi. Winnie Richards Madikizela. Good afternoon, girl. Hi, Winnie. Raima Jaka, greetings from Kingston. Yes, we know where that is. Edward Ombongi, live from Dubai. Yani, I have more people watching from. But then the Middle East wanted nation frequency in the Middle East, but that's a discussion for another day. Allow me to introduce these lovely ladies sitting here. Christine Ongwai, flyweight.
It's Ongare.
Ongare.
Yeah.
Ongare.
Yeah.
Christine Ongare, flyweight,
Yeah.
Olympian, boxer. We'll talk to you a bit more just now. Elizabeth Akinyi, my namesake. Habari yako?
Mzuri.
You're welterweight. Welterweight.
Yeah.
When did you just tell me briefly when you started boxing, and then we'll go into your Olympic experience. Let me start with you, Elizabeth.
I started boxing at 2010.
That's
Yes.
about 11 years ago.
Yeah. 2010, then nikakuwa na break. 2012 nikiwa pregnant. Nika break kuna maternity leave, nikarudi 2014.
Power of a woman. I'm already hearing power of a woman. We'll get back to that story.
Okay.
Christine Ongare. First of all, I'm so surprised by your size. You're so tiny, but I am not going to challenge you to anything because I think you can really fix me. Christine, just tell us one little thing about yourself and how you got into boxing. Then we get into Tokyo.
Okay, what made me to go into boxing is the gender-based within the Eastlands, because many girls are facing a lot of challenges, whereby it was due to my defense. That's why I decided to join boxing. But before, I was a footballer, whereby before joining boxing, after leaving football, I wanted to be an acrobat. That's when I ended up in boxing.
Yeah, I read somewhere that you were going to be a footballer, and you are a good footballer. Only that you decided to choose boxing. Let's talk about the Olympic experience. Then we'll go back to how you started. What was it like in Tokyo?
Okay, for me it was great, because for each and every athlete, Olympic is the last level that each and every
ultimate dream.
That is it. Whereby to me it doesn't matter whether I lost, but already each and every individual that was there was a champion within his or her country, whereby we were meeting champions. Whereby for me it was a good experience.
You know, I insulted, I don't insult a lot of people on social media, but I insulted people yesterday because they told me, Radull, bring the people who got medals. And I told them, do you know how many people in the world qualify for Olympics? Just qualify. Not for your national school, not for your national team, for Olympics. That in itself for me is something to be celebrated because you're only a few, you're a handful in life who qualify for Olympics. What was it like for you in Tokyo, Elizabeth? Can I call you Akini?
It was a good experience because since tuli qualify African, first of all tuli qualify in our country, we are the best. Tukatoka, tukaenda qualification Africa, tulikuwa wengi, 8 men and 5 women. Na 2 of us ndio wali manage to qualify. Alafu another 2 boys manage to qualify. So being in Olympic is a good experience and una meet experience from countries to countries. So it ilikuwa good experience because each and every boxer or player wote utamani kuenda Olympics. Nina kuanga mwisho wa maneno.
What did you see that some of the other boxers are getting or have done that probably you have not, Christine, you've not managed to experience? Because I'm sure when you interact with these other boxers, you're noticing a lot. First of all, they have the support around them. They have, maybe you discussed with them how they train at home. Did you have such experiences?
Okay, for me, it's because they first come from our country.
And you can speak in Swahili if you want, my dear.
Okay. Because before the present federation, before we say, let's say in many sports, ladies are neglected. That's whereby I think the out countries, they are performing due to exposure. Because in each and every sport, exposure is the most important. Whereby I think that's the only thing that I experience. Because before we participated in the Olympics, they are like the opponent that I played with. For me, I had only played, after qualifying 2020, I had only played 3 bouts. But for her, she had 20 bouts, which you see she has big difference with me.
So you're not, then you're not on the same page. Yeah. So it's easy for people here to criticize that you're not winning, but your preparation has not been the same.
Yeah.
What about you, Elizabeth?
It's the same because unaona Kenya tunafaa kupelekwa hizo game mingi in case tukifika the other side tunapata ni same. Like Olympic tumetrain Kenya alone. We are supposed to go Russia to train Russia because Russia kulikuwa na countries. So tunge get interact now tuende Olympic atungeona ikiwa big deal. Pale unaenda ikiwa big deal because mimi nimetrain na Christine na fanya sparring na the same people, so hakuna ile experience napata.
There's no improvement because you're always at the same level.
Yeah, because kama tunaseme tukiwa tuna prepare kwenda Olympic tumeenda game 2, like tulienda Russia na tulienda Congo. Hizo tu ndio ilikuwa game at least, na yenye ilikuwa ile challenging ilikuwa ya Russia because Russians kulikuwa na wengi wamekuja from another countries kukuja hiyo game. So hapo ndo unaona unajigauge nafaa nimefika wapi. Na ilikuwa game 2 ambapo tungepelekwa hata kama tukiwacha hiyo 20 hata kama 10 ama 5-7 ingekuwa better.
You'd have got more exposure, more
And
experience.
also adding, if they make it as a source of income for mostly for ladies, because they say that ladies have a lot of a lot of needs. That's why they fear dealing with ladies. But if they make it as a source of income, I think many girls will come in, and if the competition come more high within our country, therefore even outside will perform. Because like me, I can say that I only have 2 opponents,
in Kenya,
whereby it is so challenging to me. They are the ones who are benefiting. For me, I'm not benefiting because I go outside there, I gain experience, I meet with the same people. whereby to
You
me,
can't get better.
Yeah,
You
they are
can't
the
get
ones who are
better.
getting
I
better.
want to get into that. Let me just send a few shout outs. If I don't send shout outs, people start summarizing me. Let me see. Newton Malimwa says he's tuned in. Alois Kitivo locked in from Westlands. By the way, guys, if you have questions for these lovely ladies, send the questions in the comment section as well. Isaac Ogega watching live from Kisii. And then he says, Radull, you're forcing a smile. I'm not forcing a smile. I'm in the presence of Olympians. I am not forcing a smile. I'm Kenyan first. The rest is later, you know. All those. By the way, people don't understand. For me, Arsenal is fun and games. The focus is here. When are we going to grow our own sport? Alex Ronnie Berir says, live, yes, let me share the link. Thank you. Stella Nouma says we are locked. Morris Minad Kisothi, locked from Nairobi. Godwin Kipngetich, team from Maragoli, Kenya. And then, yeah. Guys, those of you with Arsenal comments, take them to the game plan, 96.3 Nation FM from 3 p.m. later on today. I want to start from the beginning. You're a young girl, you are in school, and your mother probably thinks you're going to be a teacher when you grow up. How did you decide that I'm not just going to play sport for fun and I want to try and become a professional boxer? Give me your whole journey story.
What?
We have time, my dear. We have time to listen. And I'm sure there are young girls watching thinking, I want to also go to the Olympics. Where do I start?
Okay, for me, my background is very silent, whereby I don't like talking about it each and every time.
Mm-hmm.
But from when I had fallen, I decided to rise up and say that you can never change whatever happened, but you can move on, pick up the broken particles, and rise up. Therefore, after what had happened is when I decided now to either join acrobat. When I found that the number was full, I decided now to join boxing, whereby I began boxing 2010. In novices, we were a lot of ladies. She was amongst them, whereby it was so more competitive. But at least for me, because since then I have never went for a break. I've been persistent. So
you, I mean, I don't want to impose on your story, but it's like you took up boxing, and you mentioned it, I think, a bit earlier. It was a matter of self-defense, a matter of survival in the area you were living in.
Yeah.
So it started as a need and became a sport.
Okay, now, that was it. That after making this as a defense, I came now to like it. And so even in football, you are men within the field. But even for boxing, it is easy to get an opportunity to get, while you're a child, unawish kama unaweza panda ndege. So, and your parent maybe is not that into that position that can boost you. Whereby when I went after training for a little time, there was a tournament that my fellow ladies went, but me and her, we didn't go. It was 2010. Which was in Barbados. So after she went for a break, for me I continued. So my first tournament was in 2012, which was World Women Champion. It was so challenging because we have never gone for an African tournament. You just meet the world. So I tried my best.
The first dream.
Sasa hiyo dream yangu ya kwanza ilikuwa imetimia cause nimepanda ndege. So but beside now kupanda ndege, I came to learn that I can now do it. Now nikakuja nikaitake for passion, whereby pia beside passion, ule mtu mwenye niko naende alikuwa ananipatia ile motivation, kwa sababu pia siwezi taka astay ile life yenye pia mimi nimestay. So I had to put in more effort and push myself. And also beside that, to be his role model. That's what I've been pushing me. 2014, was my first Commonwealth. I performed. 2016, I went for African Champion. 2017, beside African Champion, it was Olympic qualifier where I didn't qualify. 2017, I went for African Champion in Congo, Brazzaville. 2018, that's won my first medal, to my second Commonwealth in Australia. That's how I've been rising from one step to another, but in
To
all,
Olympics.
I thank God 2020.
Amen.
Now
Amen.
qualified for Olympics, whereby to me, I saw it to be so difficult because when the draw came out, I really fought because that was my first time that I fought 4 bouts, but I won all of them, whereby each and every time I always thank God.
And the sky is the limit, and we'll get to where next for you. Let me get to Elizabeth Akinyi. I have to say it like that because I'm Akinyi as well. Akinyi, what's your journey like? When did you decide I want to take boxing as a profession?
Me going to the gym, it was going to lose weight, and nilikuwa mkubwa, so in schools what we used to call me big mama, so nika decide kwani unaita big mama.
You used to call you big mama in school?
Yeah, I was big, so
they should see you now.
The late coach Odongo akaongea na mamangu, can I train your daughter? Mamangu akaitikia, hakujua ni boxing. So bit by bit nikaanza kwenda ku lose weight, boxing ikanifurahisha. But all in all nikitrain boxing, sikuwa na train nikiwa ile serious. Hata tukiwa na hawa nilikuwa naambiwa mimi ndio nilikuwa the lazy girl kwa team. It's true.
The lazy one.
Yeah. I was the lazy.
Confirmed.
Yeah, nilikuwa lazy, hata road watu wakienda mimi niko tu, yani siwezi kimbia. So ikakuja time mamangu nikamwambia nimeanza boxing, akaambia utakuwa wazimu. Hakuwa anataka boxing. Nikatrainiwa 1 month 2 weeks, nikapelekwa game. Nikapigwa, nilikuwa naingia boxing na ile maringo ile. Nikaambia ile matusi, ile matusi. Wacheza boxing watu tu opponents, fans wenye wanakuaga. Nikaanza kucheza boxing serious, na hiyo anasema watu walienda tournament tukaachwa na wewe. Ikakuwa sijapanda ndege, watu wamerudi wanatupigia story, wana $. Nikasikia vibaya, nikaanza pia mimi nataka kuput in boxing. Nikaanza work hard, nikaanza kutrain. First game yangu kwenda nje ilikuwa ni Cameroon. Ilikuwa ni Olympic qualification. Hatuku qualify, tulikuwa na yeye. Second ikakuwa ni Congo Brazzaville. Hiyo ndio ilikuwa first medal yetu mimi na yeye. Tulikuwin bronze.
So you've just been together all this time?
Yeah. Third ikakuwa hiyo African qualification, world qualification, Olympic qualification ya Senegal. Nilimanage kupata bronze, siku qualify, but yeye aliqualify. So ikakuwa ile umecross finger, acha tu Mungu aingilie niende qualification ya world. So nilikuwa na depend ya world ya France, na corona ikakuja, ikakuwa venye nilipata bronze number 3, wakatumia rank. Sasa ranking ndio ni favor ku qualify for the Olympic. But all in all nilikuwa naombanga tu Olympic. Hiyo siku ilikuwa gazetted ati mimi na my fellow Ajoy tumequalified. Nilisikia ni kama naota. Ushaona ni kama nywele zinamea, but una nywele lakini unasikia ni kama zinamea. Nashindwa nifanye aje. Nikarudi nipige magoti na piga Mungu asante. Ushaona nilo naomba haraka. Mungu asante. Naenda wapi? Tena narudi na nil. Ngilo. Nampigia coach, ni kweli? Ananiambia ni ukweli. Although nilikuwa nimefurahi ku qualify for the Olympic. So imekuwa journey. Ndio nifike Olympic imekuwa journey. But all in all nashukuru God.
And your Olympic experience in terms of how prepared you were?
Preparation in Olympics, nilikuwa nakata weight, nilikuwa na weight problem. Although kwenda Olympic nilikuwa 77 kg. Nilikuwa light heavyweight. Ikakuwa kuna mtu alidrop hiyo welter. Nikaulizwa kama naweza cheza hiyo welter. Nikasema naweza kata weight. Hiyo ndio ilikuwa first.
What's the weight for welter?
69.
69.
Yeah. So nilidrop from 77 to 69.
Wow.
So kwa hii ndio imekuwa challenging sana kwa preparation yangu. Although imekuwa better, siwezi sema ilikuwa mbaya. Tulikuwa tuna lose tu ni hiyo exposure, but sisi tuli prepare well wenye tunaenda hizi leagues za Kenyan leagues, ambapo ingekuwa ni to you preparation ilikuwa ni a league, I think tungekuwa wasichana wangekuja league.
In terms of weight category, you're lightweight, huh?
No,
I'm fly.
You're flyweight.
Yeah.
What should your weight be for fly?
From 48 to 51.
So what's your weight now? I wanted to say how heavy are you? You're not even heavy.
But you know weight inaenda na height ya mtu. There is no enda kuwa weight ya juu na height yangu. Ndamitu watu wale wakubwa.
So what support have you received in Kenya towards your boxing career? I know you've already mentioned you don't get the international exposure, but locally speaking, is there organized support for women at all? Because I know a lot of men, they have teams, especially with the armed forces and people like that. How is it for the women? In terms of how frequent the league is, how organized the league is, does the league pay you? What's the situation?
According to me, naweza sema kama hujakuwa employed na forces or kitu ingine, unachezea clubs, and clubs saa zile umeenda league ndio unapewa allowances. Saa zile ujaenda league uko tu hapo, hata ukitrain unajitafutia kiwewe peke yako. Like mimi sijachorwa job anywhere, nafanya kazi, naweza sema nafanya kazi AVF na si ati nimeandikwa kazi, ni ile tu kuhustle. And ukienda kucheza game, ukienda league, hiyo timu unachezea league ndio inakupatia allowances. Gava yetu ijashughulikia venye tunafaa kukaa sports, naweza sema hivyo.
But it's every sport. But it's even worse for women, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, but to add whatever she has said, your department, for me, yes, before sikuwa niko employed, but saizi niko kwa nafanya kwa kampuni, but ni kampuni ya president wetu wa boxing, whereby niko na that advantage because yeye ni president wa boxing and it is a company, whereby ingekuwa ni kampuni ingine singekuwa napata hiyo time ya kuenda kutrain, cause pia anataka job yake ifanye ikiendelea, whereby ni lazima watachora madem kwa forces, cause forces ndio kuna ile time yenye unaweza train
sports time,
then unaingia job. Beside that, kama nini team police, although tuko employed, but all along they have been with us, taking us to the league, na waja to employ, giving us an allowance, so at least wamekuwa more supportive to us.
Wanajaribu.
Yeah.
Wanajaribu. I want us to take a first break. I want to take just one break. We're going to take about a minute break. When we come back, I want to talk a bit about facilities and then your hopes and dreams based on, you've been for an Olympics. If you go for the next one, what will you know better? So we'll come back and have that discussion. But let's take a short break first. Guys, don't go anywhere. We'll see you after the break.
For tickets, we have taken to the global stage at the Olympics and shown the world what Kenyans are capable of. The time for us to show the world what Kenyans are made of is here. For Kenya, let us cheer our champions. We are whole Team Kenya. When we win, you win. We are Kenya Milele. SMS the code under the Tusker Crown to 29844.
Kenya Milele.
Excessive alcohol consumption is harmful to your health. Not for sale to persons under the age of 18 years.
We are the face of boxing.
welcome back. This is Radull Live, where we focus on Kenya. Those of you sending me messages about Arsenal, let's meet on Nation FM 96.3 at 3 p.m. Not here. Here we're talking about boxing. Here we focus on Kenyan sport. But I have good news for you from Betika, guys. Remember, they have a weekly grand jackpot. Yes, the 100 million shilling jackpot. You can now enter at 2 levels. If you enter with 50 shillings, you stand. If you enter with 20 shillings, you stand to win 50 million shillings if you get your 17 predictions correct. And with 99 shillings, you stand to win 100 million. So make sure you are playing the Betika Grand Jackpot, and it could win you, it could win you 50 million on a 20 shilling stake, or it could win you 100 million on a 99 shilling stake. And now for the next 100 days, I think it's 99 days now because they started yesterday, just for entering the grand jackpot, you go into a daily draw to win a piki. Yes, a boda. I might need your services with this Nairobi traffic. So great news. Just go to betika.com and get more information. I'm here, of course, with Christine Ongare and Elizabeth Akinyi, and we are talking about women's boxing. Both of them went for the Olympics, and for me, just qualifying for an Olympic is the ultimate dream for any athlete. I have a few comments and questions here, and then we'll continue with our conversation. Henry Navigator says, make me understand the difference between flyweight and welterweight. Akinyi,
Yes.
the difference?
The difference is like scary quarter and scary nose. It's just a weight.
It's just a weight.
The different is the name.
So if you're a certain weight, you can only compete with someone else within the certain weight.
Yeah.
And so there's flyweight, there's welterweight, heavyweight, middleweight, heavyweight,
light fly.
Heavyweight.
There's light fly.
Yeah.
There's
the
lighter than fly.
Yeah. The light fly.
That's for what weight?
45 to 48.
45 to 48?
Yeah.
And that's for grown people.
Yeah.
Despite her size, I'm not picking a weight. Thank you very much. Sugar Ray Courier, my friend. He says, I'm following. He says, it's been a tough journey for both Christine, who had underweight issues, and Eliza, who had overweight issues. But it's a challenging thing, because you told me you had to go from 77 to 69.
69.
Over what period of time?
It was 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yeah.
So that you could compete in welterweight?
Yeah.
And you were now underweight, so you had to add.
Yeah.
Kukula, ugali.
And I don't like eating. That's the problem.
You don't like eating? When you came in here, our camera guy asked you what you had for breakfast.
No, because I knew I'm going to sit like that all the day.
So you had ugali for breakfast?
No, it was tea and bread.
Tea and bread. But sometimes you have ugali for breakfast. Be truthful.
Well, there is meat.
There's meat.
Yeah.
But then it just means you do a lot of weightlifting to add your weight.
For me, I can say my bones are light.
So it's eating. It's only eating for you to get up to your weight. Let me see. Musa Jalil is just enjoying the interview. Thank you, Musa. Governor Vinny Jamez Odu says, Radull, I don't understand boxing. It has so many organizations and federations in Kenya. I'm not sure if that's for you guys too. I think what people don't understand is the difference between Amateur Boxing Association and Professional Boxing Association. What's the difference?
The difference is sisi tuko under government and professional wako kivyao. Yani they have to look for sponsor for themselves.
Okay, I think the thing between amateur and professional is business. Ukicheza unalipwa, but amateurs unaona mpaka uparticipate kwa hizi tournaments kubwa ndio government ikupatie kupatie do.
So the professionals are like the people who look for what do you call them? They look for sponsors and they do bouts.
Yeah.
So it's more like entertainment.
Yeah.
It's in a bout and then you get paid.
Yeah.
As opposed to you guys who play in the league and then qualify. Can a professional qualify for, say, Olympics?
Yeah, there are many professionals who played.
But they would have to register under amateur.
Yeah.
Under amateur. Okay. But as amateurs, can you also get sponsors?
Yes, like Tusker, it sponsor.
It depends. Our sponsors ndio tunataka at least ndio wa change boxing.
Yeah, because for you guys to get paid properly and for boxing to be able to, does boxing cover all your needs or you still have to do side hustles?
You still have
to do side hustles because unaona for federation haiwezi cater for every boxer. The federation is too small for that. Whereby at least ndio tunaomba kama kuna ma sponsors wanaweza chip in wata make boxing ikwe poa. Kwa sababu mostly kwanza mashinani you have a lot of boxers. Yep.
Like kitambo tulikuwa tunasikia Tusker ilikuwa na team ya boxing, Posta, Kenyatta, but walikuja wakadrop, we don't know why. Ndio walikuwa nasaidia watu. Ikakuwa wanaweza tena rudi kwa ground watusaidie, tuta appreciate.
Because saizi tuna depend, kila mtu ana depend kwa forces na forces haiwezi andika
kila mtu.
Yeah, so what if you're just a boxer who can't go into the disciplined forces? I actually had this conversation last time when I hosted the Korea. I had Korea and Okwiri written on the same show, and they said that was a big, because I was asking them how come in the 70s and 80s we had boxing was thriving, and nowadays it's you rarely hear about the boxers. And they said then it was because there was Posta, there was Telcom, there was Kenyatta. All these organizations were behind boxing, and then they disappeared. Why did they disappear?
We don't know.
They come back? Yeah, I mean they're doing it for other sports. They should do it for boxing as well.
Yes.
Yeah. What facilities are there available to boxers in Kenya? Or it has to come through your club?
Through your club.
It's just through your club. Are there enough clubs, and are the clubs well equipped?
No.
Based on what you saw at the Olympics?
No.
Mashinani, you can't till you reach the national level. Yeah.
That's when you can come to places like AV Fitness.
That is it.
And get proper facilities. Now that you've gone for the Olympics, because I was hosting the rugby ladies a couple of months ago before these Olympics. They went for the other Olympics. And was it the ladies or the men? And they were saying that the men, they're saying at the first Olympics, you have to get over the shock of even what you're seeing, the structures you're seeing, the facilities you're seeing. You're walking past Usain Bolt. I think you can't even perform. It's culture shock. Was that the same for you?
For me, I don't think, because due to Corona, tulikuwa tumefungiwa vitu mob.
Things were different, eh?
Yeah.
How different was it, and what were the procedures you had to go through just to be in the village and stuff?
Hakukuwa na kumingle hata na team Kenya team. It's kama ni boxing from village to arena, from arena to village, from rooms to dining. Hakukuwa na ile kumingle.
No shopping.
Hakuna shopping, hakuna ile ya team meka group. Ile hata venye mtu anasemanga easy changing pins. Kuna hizi pins. Mtu kuchange pin, mtu ana change pin. Kana change pin na huko. Anakupatia pin na huko sasa amwezi ongea hata ile.
So Corona has really
messed up.
At some point Japan wanted to even cancel the Olympics because they were saying we don't want these.
Hata tukio huko I think kulikuwa na state of emergency because sisi hatukuona hata ma Japanese. Tulikuwa tunaona tu ma volunteers, but kuona ati watu wako around.
That must be tough because for me sport needs an audience.
Yeah.
You need people cheering.
Kwa unaenda arena iko board, ni kama mko training but ni real game. Unaona ile unaingenga kwa ring, unasikia watu wanapiga nduru ya kukua. Ni wewe na opponent na majudges na workers.
There's a question here from Raima Jaka. She says, ask each one of them their favorite strike they use in any fight. I'm assuming she understands. I have no idea what that means. Strike. Is it a position? Is it a... I don't know. Huh? Best knockout tactic. I have no idea.
Unajua pia knockout ina depend na weight category. Because categories za chini ni ngumu sana upate knockout.
Yeah.
We are light.
Knockout is
So
usually
inaanza
heavyweight.
heavyweights.
Na knockout pia ina depend, inakuanga ni lucky punch. Haikuangi nimepanga nataka kupigana knockout, inakuanga ni lucky punch. Yeah.
A question here from Winnie Richards. She says, is boxing paying them? Ama ni kujaribu tu? I think you've kind of answered that question.
Yeah.
That we can always do with more support, and I think it's across Kenyan sports. We can always do with more support in boxing. Henry Navigator, ask Akinyi, is she not a threat to her boyfriend?
No.
I think what people don't understand is these sports teach discipline.
Yeah.
Whether it's taekwondo, karate,
It's a job.
it's a job, and you're actually taught the art of restraint, yeah? So you don't go picking a fight.
Unajua pia kuna ukishaanza boxing, kuna ile fear inaingia ndani yako when it comes kwa street.
You can't fight.
Yeah. Kwa sababu utataka kuharibu image yako, that is the first thing. Ukishakuwa champion,
Leave alone the image.
Yeah.
Umeenda pale utolewe macho, watu wanapiga street fight. Why? Na games inakungoja. Sasa kuna ile fear. By the way, boxers tunaogopa vita. Hata watu wakipigana pale utanionea 18. Na chungulia hivi siwezi fika.
I'm still not picking a fight with you. What next for the two of you? Now you've gone for one Olympic. Yes, you've seen what the challenges were, that we couldn't get medals. But for me, you're still a champion. For me, it's not about Olympics, it's not about just representing Kenya. Even at Africa level, you're already a champion in my heart. But what is next for you? What would you like to happen, Christine, before you're facing another Olympic qualifier or world qualifier? What's in store for you in future?
for me I cannot say for now.
What are your dreams? What do you want?
I think about it later.
To me, I want to train hard to focus for the next Olympic. Ile kutrain venye nilikuwa nimefocus for the first, so that nisha test ya kwanza. I want to train hard for the next Olympic. In between kuna game, kuna Commonwealth, kuna All African. So hizo pia nataka tu kutrain hard, not Olympic peke yake, lakini the bigger one is Olympic. Ndio na focus ya next Olympic. Because kuna watu nakwambia, ukutana mtu anakuambia this is my third Olympic, this is my second Olympic. So why me? Nisiende second, third na fourth.
Who's your competition in Africa? Which countries?
My opponent.
Yeah.
Wako wengi.
Who offers, like from which countries? Which countries in Africa take boxing?
Kuna Mozambique, kuna Uganda. Wako wengi.
Nigeria.
Middle East, Algeria, Morocco.
Where does Kenya rank? Like how many Africans qualified for the Olympics?
In boxing?
In women, yeah, women's boxing.
We have Uganda. We have Mozambique. Kenya. Kenya number one first.
But then there are not that many.
Yeah.
There are many. I think there are three. 3 countries. 3.
How has it been being in what is considered a male-dominated sport? Because I'm sure you've heard that over and over again.
As in?
As in boxing, it's perceived to be a violent sport. It's perceived to be a sport women that is more a lot more challenging for women than it is for men. Because it's very physical.
What I can say, sports in sports. Hakuna boxing si ngumu na boxing si violent. Especially sisi boxers ama niseme tu masholato wote wanakuanga very disciplined. Na uwezi sema boxing ni ngumu kwa sababu ukisikia mtu wa rugby atakwambia rugby ni ngumu. Like mimi nasema sisi cheza rugby. Kwambia na injury mpaka kwa mbavu, kuwa na injury sijui wapi. Si maybe ukipata injury ni umepata cut to hii area. Na uwezi sema venye watu wanatuambianga kuna mtu anakuambia utageuka wazimu, si wazimu. Once uingie kwa ile ring unakuwa umefundishwa venye una defend wewe mwenyewe, hizo punches zisiingie. So uwezi enda kwa ring usimame wewe upigwe tu kichwa hivi kwa wazimu. boxing ni kama football, boxing ni kama hizo vitu vingine, but tizi ya boxing ndio inakuwa more intense kushinda hizo sports zingine. Ya boxing si violent.
Mimi kenye naweza sema, anything you do, it's all in mind. So ukishaweka ati boxing, sinaona kama hasa mimi ndakwambia, inafika time unaacha, unasema unataka kuacha. But ushaizoea, you just feel like you should go to the gym.
Ni kama unakuwa addicted.
So it's all in mind.
If you were to do your life all over again, you would still choose to be a boxer.
Yeah.
That is it.
That is it.
Yeah.
What message do you have to the young girls out there, the ones who want to be boxers? Maybe they're facing, because has your family accepted it? Because that's also another challenge. You were saying your mom was okay with you going to the gym till she had a
But it's not boxing.
It's boxing. Has your family accepted it?
Yeah, because when you waliona inaanza kupay in, at least nikienda outside. But my mom mpaka saizi bado ananiambianga inafaa niache. The problem inatokeaga na ile kesi ya congestina. But namwambia in sports anything can happen. Hata football siku na wenye wanavunjikaga miguu. So ina depend na luck yako venye ili happen.
Is congestina one of the people you look up to?
No, for me it's Elizabeth and Diego was my role model. The first Olympian woman. Asitukuwa imona akicheza.
Oh, you never saw her when she was boxing?
Yeah.
She was excellent. She was excellent. It's unfortunate how her career has gone. And Zarika, do you get to watch Zarika?
Yeah.
Yeah, once. Twice at Carnival.
Carnival na...
Yeah, it is. City.
Now what she does is like professional boxing.
Yeah.
Because it's paid. It's paid for. What advice would you have for young girls who want to go to Olympics and box and represent Kenya?
Okay, for young girls, what I could like to tell them, it doesn't matter where you're coming from. It doesn't matter what you're faced in life. Just pick up yourself, believe in yourself. And what I always say nowadays is that if you make working smart a habit, working hard becomes a character. Therefore, even in life, it doesn't matter for those people whom you have grown with. There's some things that you have to keep aside. So there are some friends that have no future. You have to put them aside and focus on yourself. Then you're gonna achieve. Although the road is not easy, obstacles are many, challenges, but keep going and set your dreams and you'll go to achieve as I did.
I like that. You said working smart.
If you make working smart a habit, working hard becomes a character.
If you make working smart a habit, working hard becomes a character.
Yeah.
That's amazing. But I like that you said it's not easy. So don't think it's going to be easy.
It's not easy.
But you must be ready for, and it's very mental.
Yeah.
What would you like to tell the young generation?
What I would like to tell them, wakue focused na wale wako kwa sports, like tuna watu wengi wako kwa sports, wanaogopa kwa sports, wasiogope, wakuje in na wafocus wanataka kufanya nini, wata make it. Wawachane na hii mambo ya nasemanga boyfriend and girlfriend, wastea time, waji-involve kwa sports. Because kuna hata wengine wako shule, but hakuna kitu napata shule, wako locked, hakuna kitu naingia. So waji-involve kwa sport yoyote. Siwezi mwambia boxing peke yake, sports ziko mingi, na sports zote zinaenda Olympic. So ina depend ni gani atachagua, na ni gani ata-train kivipi.
What would you like the government to do for you? Without getting too, I don't want to get too political, but we've seen that how Kenya government has really been criticized. If you see how other governments were receiving their athletes, I think it was Uganda. Uganda didn't care whether you had a medal or not. Every athlete was given something just for participating in the Olympics.
Yeah. Mimi tunaweza sema government ya Kenya inafaa sahi wakuwe into sports. Cause hata ukiangalia countries wanafurahia hizo medal zinaingia kwa country. Juu medal inainua jina country juu. Kama sasa ukiangalia Afrika, Kenya tuko number 1. But venye tunatritiwa, mimi sifurahi. Siwezi sema politics ama nini, sifurahi. Wanafaa kuangalia ama athlete wanapata hata kama wenye kuwa national team venye wanapata salary, cause unapata countries wengine unapata boxer anakuambia yako kwa payroll na government yake. Sisi government tushughulikianga saa zile tunaenda hizi game kubwa mostly ni Olympic, All Africa na Commonwealth, ndio tunaona government imetushughulikia. Hizi zingine hawajaishughulika. Sasa saa hii blame inaingianga sana kwa jeshi, polisi, watu andiki kazi. Unapata ni nne inataka kwa yezi andika nini yote, sports zote zinategemea kuandikwa kazi na polisi, jeshi, na yezi andika yote. Government iangalie venye inashughulikia sports.
Do you have a comment on that, Christine?
Okay, for me, before I talk about myself to the government, ninge urge gava, crimes zinapanda juu kuzia idleness. So kuna matalanta huko nje, especially in the Eastlands, whereby wakimake it ikuwe a source of income, utapata crimes zitapungua kwa sababu sports itamkeep busy na anajua kushua bet kuna do atakuwa napata pale mwisho wa mwezi. Hiyo ndio kitu inaweza na at least washughulikie sports. Then sisi wenye tumetoka Tokyo, at least to appreciate to kuzipia kupigana tumepigana. Tulipigana ndio tukapata hiyo hatukupelekwa. At least tumekuwa tukiraise flag ya na ni very rare kupata kwanza kwa hii game yenye tunacheza. Si ati tunajifightia kama boxer peke yetu, but ni very rare kupata dem amengangana mpaka kafika Olympics. Watushughulikie tu tafadhali.
Tafadhali, yeah. It's true. People don't realize that. You know, people don't, and nobody bothers to analyze, okay, they didn't bring a medal. Why didn't they bring a medal? What did we not do for you? You know, and most of the time, you guys have done everything you can do. It's us who have failed you, you know, whether it's facilities, whether it's friendlies, whether it's money, whether it's bonuses, whatever it is, yeah? And I think, I also want fans to understand that when you start saying, they need to bring a medal, hey, what did you do for them to help them bring that medal? You know, you've done all you can. You wake up in the morning, you train, you work out. As you said, you don't have any more competition in Nairobi, in Kenya per se. You know, you can't improve unless somebody's organizing for you those international matches. Yeah. But I just want to say, do you have any parting shots? Because we're about to wrap.
Kitu mimi nasema Kenyans wanapenda saa zile umeleta medal. Ndio wewe ni wao, lakini ukilose wanaanza kukutukana immediately. Wanaanza kutukana. Kwanza sisi tulitukana vibaya sana, ni venye sasa uwezi.
You just try and ignore, but it still hurts. Yeah.
Juu ukisema unashaka kushika matusi au utaendelea. Unafunika masikio, unangoja for the next. Next ukishinda watakucelebrate. Ukilose
ukishinda next time will be like,
wetu. Lakini ukilose huu mjinga anaenda kufanya nini kule.
Yeah.
Okay, alafu pia mimi naweza ambia wa Kenya wa chip in kwa hiyo boxing, the match you give, the match you are given.
Yeah.
Kama wata give in, then waone performance haitoki, they have their right. But si ati hao wanataka kuchip in na kuna ile support yenye wanapatiaga mtu, ujui ile kitu mtu anapitia huko nyuma. Na in any sports, kuwa mental and fit imeshinda hata ukiwa physically fit. Yeah. So mimi ndio kitu yenye naweza ambia wa Kenya.
I am inspired. Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
I'm so glad you came. And I just wish you all the best.
Thank
now
you.
We have each other's numbers. You keep in touch. When you want to make noise, call me. I'll make a noise for you.
Okay.
And then at some point, I'll also bring you on the radio show so that more people can hear what you have to say, because I think you have a lot to say. And I want to say thank you for your service for Kenya.
Welcome.
You know, thank you for your service for Kenya, and thank you for coming. And thank you for watching Radull Live, guys. Those of you who still want to talk about that other sport and those other teams, let's meet at 3 p.m. on Nation FM. But for now, this is Radull Live. We'll meet again next week, where hopefully I can get more Olympians. I've been trying to get them, but most of the athletes, I think, have gone for this Diamond League in the States. They've, you know, everybody has to continue with their lives. So most of the athletes have left the country and all that. But I'm so glad that you two were able to come. And we'll see you next week.
Thank you.